It might fit Allard's dainty hand. I've a bit more girth. Very odd. It appears to be stuck. With great power comes great responsibility.
Have you found something to replace the controls you broke yet?
Here, plug this in. See if it works.
No joy, boyo.
What? Isn't it supposed to be plug and play?
No, boyo. You'll have to install the drivers first.
Well, can't you just download them in here?
The Wi-Fi can't reach this part of the ship. Try getting online in one of the other rooms. See if you can download the drivers onto something and bring it here.
I suppose you'll just be sitting here in the meantime.
That's how the genre works, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And if it is broke, well, it's probably a tedious puzzle to fix it.
Now, to download this driver. I just need to connect to the internet first. Bingo! Found it! Now I just need to save it onto something so I can install it in the cockpit. Fantastic! Now to quickly copy this driver. Whoa! Oh, sorry. Oh, gosh, is that the time? It'll be starting to get dark outside. Best check up on Allard and see if he's dried off. It's remarkable how much information can be stored on something so compact. 3.5 inches. It's compact, but still large enough to grip. It's Wales' own son, Sub-Lieutenant Jones.
What's going on? What are you playing at, boyo?
I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. It felt like someone else was in control of my inhibitions.
Just give me the driver so we can GTFO.
GTFO?
Get things functioning and online. You need to swat up in your acronyms, FFS. For future scenarios.
Here, install this, and we should be underway again.
You could have used my USB pen, you know.
What? Is that another one of your acronyms I'm supposed to know?
What? Universal Serial Bus?
Ha! Serial bus. I know you're just making that one up.
Well, boyo, I've got some good news and some bad news. Which one do you want first?
Give me the grim, demoralizing reality first, then ensure I quickly forget its severity with a light-hearted human interest tale, preferably involving a cat and a musical instrument.
Alright, boyo. Well, the bad news is that before this driver will work, one of us is going to have to descend into the dark depths of the ship to perform the emergency systems reset procedure.
You mean turn everything off and on again?
Yes, but the good news is it's a one-person job, so only one of us will have to do it.
Presumably I'll be the one doing the legwork, as usual.
Well, if you want, we could make it seem like you had a choice in the matter. Here, we'll flip for it. Heads or tails?
Tails never fails.
It's heads.
Blast! I can't help but feel that somehow that was always going to happen.
What fates impose that men must needs abide, it boots not to resist both wind and tide.
Gosh, the writing on this voyage just stepped up a level. That was borderline Shakespeare.
Aye, borderline.
Right, I'm off. I haven't been up here long, and already I think I've started to lose muscle density. On a more positive note, it would appear my bone density has remained unaffected. Triple action! Removes grease, fights odours, preserves one's dignity while attempting to squeeze through a narrow opening. The holy trinity of cleaning products. If you want a job done around here, you've got to do it yourself. Whilst that did smell like a spring breeze, it did chafe a turd. It's just like exercising at the gym, albeit without the judgment of others. If you want a job done around here, you've got to do it yourself. I'm sure this'll come in, wait for it, handy, eh? Yes. It's part of the laboratory equipment the biologist we were supposed to have on board brought. Property of Irvin Schrödinger. The box is sealed shut. Why, it would be impossible to determine the fate of any biological life form inside. How very retro. It isn't great for the environment. Replacement ribbons are a real biohazard. Gosh! It's full of the blighters! Voila! That should significantly reduce the risk of death by electrocution. Always a comforting reassurance. This should do the trick. No, that's... yes, right. Oops, gosh, I can be ever so clumsy. Ah well, no harm done. Let's check back with Allard and see if that's sorted everything. Down here is starting to give me the creeps. It's a precision-engineered German motorized screwdriver. Sub-Lieutenant Jones!
Aye, boyo?
What is it you're tinkering with there, Jones? That isn't our reconnaissance rover you're disassembling, is it?
Well, but, funny story. While you were downstairs attending to that very complicated, laborious task, flicking that switch on and off, I've been running a variety of pre-mission calibration tests on the Beagle 2-2.
I presume that's why the floor's covered with bits of toy Hot Wheels track.
Firstly, the fact that this modular vehicular pathway simulation system happens to be mass-produced and branded as a children's toy is irrelevant. And secondly, yes.
That's all well and good, Sub-Lieutenant Jones. However, if I recall correctly, we were specifically advised that the Beagle 2-2 tended to function significantly better when its complicated array of electronics and mechanical components were positioned inside its aluminium housing.
Look, I just have to make a few minor repairs. During a centrifugal force resistance simulation, the rover proved exceedingly resistant.
So it flew off the loop bit.
That would be a valid interpretation of events, yes.
Sounds like I'm going to be required to go on some kind of scavenger hunt. What do you need?
To get the rover going again?
For the time being, that's all I feel I'm obligated to offer, yes.
I think the rigorous nature of the, test may have burned out the main motor.
I see. So, I'll have to find something to create some sort of electromagnet that'll revolve when a current is passed through it. I'll have to fashion a pulley system of sorts to drive power to the wheels. Something with a taut elastic band should do the trick, like an alluring undergarment. Now, if I was to remove the elastic...
Alternatively, Bert, you could just always grab me a spare. We've got a cupboard full of them.
Who's driving the boat?
Nobody. We're tied. I turned the autopilot on.
She was only installed a week ago and already her standards are slipping. I don't suppose you noticed anything out of the ordinary earlier when I was performing that emergency systems reset procedure. Specifically immediately once the power came back on.
No. Why, should I have?
Well, I don't know. Probably not. Forget I mentioned it. Be sure to put your toys away when you're done. Right. I'll have this open in a jiffy. Aha! That's what I'm after. Splendid! Why, that was very straightforward. However, I can't help but feel if I had my time again, I'd do something different. Oh well, best get this to Alad. I don't suppose you'd have any use for this premium German motorized screwdriver?
Ah, cheers, Bert.
Sub-Lieutenant Jones! What are you doing?
Relax, Bert.
Relax! Do you have any idea how expensive parts and servicing are for that thing?
Look, I have an idea.
I'm sorry, I presumed that was the motor I could smell burning.
Look, we can replace the motor in the Beagle with the motor in this screwdriver. It's probably more reliable than our own spares anyway.
Great thinking, Sub-Lieutenant Jones. Why? It's intuitive thinking like that that won us the war.
Of independence?
No, the other ones.
For the last time, the left stick moves it forward and back. The right stick turns it left and right.
By Jove, it works!
In 600,000 yards, your destination will be on the right. You've reached your destination.
Sub-Lieutenant Jones, we've arrived! The new world! Quickly! Break open a container of property of ER2 flags and prepare a landing party!
As much as I'd love to jump onto the surface and soak up the radioactive atmosphere of this uncharted, most likely fatally hazardous planet, I think it may be an idea to send the Beagle 2-2 down first, just to get a feel for the place.
I considered your suggestion, Sub-Lieutenant Jones, and have made the executive decision to send the Beagle 2-2 down for a quick recce, prior to making our own triumphant descent. The extra time will allow us to properly consider which 19th century member of the aristocracy to name this place after.
Launching probe.
What the devil? Sub-Lieutenant Jones! Quickly! We've been outmaneuvered! Someone's got here before us! We need to find out who that Jollywell is and eject them from Her Majesty's new World post-haste! Set us down!